The founder of NimbusDB. That's Barry Morris. Barry?
Okay. Ready to go. So hi, my name is Barry Morris. I want to just talk to you about NimbusDB. If you go back a few years, you'll find that the database market was essentially consolidated around 4 or 5 major players. And now today we have the most fragmented market that we've seen ever. And there's a big question there. That's a surprise. Why is that? There are 2 primary reasons. The first is that those traditional databases were essentially scale-up architectures, not scale-out architectures. That creates lots of limitations to it and lots of costs that are intolerable in terms of modern systems. The second is that they were designed to run on dedicated hardware and not to share hardware and not to share resources. And again, that's something that's unacceptable in terms of modern systems. And so what we had was the emergence of something called NoSQL. And essentially, the traditional databases said, we can give you data guarantees. We can give you a very powerful query language. The NoSQL guys said, well, if you're prepared to get rid of those, we're capable of giving you scalability and shared resources. There's a whole new set of guys, and you're hearing some of us talk today, including ourselves, that say we can give you all of the above. We can give you all of those 4 things. There is such a thing as scalable transactions. There's no theoretical reason why SQL doesn't scale. We've solved that problem. So what is NimbusDB? We're a new SQL database, but a very special one. For the first time in the history of the industry, we have the ability to deploy technology that can give you data management as a utility. What do I mean by that? We can give you radically better guarantees of performance than you can get on any other system. What we do here is we can scale out and we can scale in on demand. We can do it immediately, and we can do it on commodity hardware. We can handle your performance requirements. We can give you, secondly, very significantly greater reliability guarantees. The system is completely tolerant of machines going down. We can run databases across multiple data centers and concurrently. We can give you as many redundant copies of the full database, live copies of the database as you want, in as many locations as you want. Thirdly, we can give you radically different economics. This is a piece of software. It runs on any machine you like. It runs on clouds, runs on commodity hardware, and we share that commodity hardware between different databases. Additionally, we have very low database administration costs. So if you think of the sort of 20th century notion of data management, it was a little bit like the power station in your backyard. What we're saying is our vision of the 21st century data management is that it's something much more like a utility, something which is much more like service level agreements and all those sorts of things that you don't currently get with databases. So how do we do this? The answer is I can't go into all of it in the time available. But what I can say is this, that you don't start with the original architectures. You do not start with what's called the System R architecture, which is what MySQL has and what Oracle has and so on. What you start with is things that are inherently scalable and proven to be scalable. And you take those concepts, those ideas, those algorithms, and you say, can we find a way to get those things and those kinds of things to behave in a way that is relational, that has a SQL and transactional capability? Short answer to that is yes, you can do it. The longer answer is that it's very difficult, and obviously this is where our patents are. So what we've been able to do is to take something that's essentially a distributed messaging system that's highly asynchronous, that scales for all the reasons that those other systems do, and we've delivered a relational database with transactional semantics. So let me give you some examples here, or an example, moving swiftly on. Suppose you and I decide we want to start the next social network. Off we go. Our data requirements are quite low because it's just your family and my family in the network. And, and so we put our database runs on some machines under the desk, no problem. Some more people come into the network, we add some more machines. That's what NimbusDB does. You add some machines, instantly you get more capability. What happens next is you go to your investors and you say, gee guys, we think this is going to really work. Give us a B round, and you go deploy it to some cloud. Let's say it's a NimbusDB starter cloud. Here's the good news. No changes whatsoever to your application. No changes whatsoever to the database. There's no sharding to be done. There's no data partitioning to be done. Nothing. Here's what you do have to do. You go to the cloud. You start up some nodes. You tell them to join up to the running database that's running under your desk. Instantly, it goes faster. The new nodes that you're running, 20, 30, 40 nodes, however many you want, are peers of the original ones, which means you can take the other ones away if you want. You've now moved a live database to the cloud without stopping it, let alone doing any kind of configuration changes. Guess what? You can do the same thing if you're going to want to move to Amazon or to Rackspace. You can do the same if you want to build your own geo-distributed data centers. You can go back to your investors and say, we want to take on Facebook. We're going to build our own big private cloud. And again, nothing more to be done. Or on the other hand, what you could do is go back to your investors and say, Facebook won, we spent all the money, we don't really know what to do, perhaps we can do a recap. In this case, it's very easy. You go back, start up your machines under the desk, migrate the database back, and you still haven't taken the database down. So who are we? We're at an alpha release. We've been there for about 3 months. We've got lots of releases out there so far. Beta is imminent, excuse me, and imminent. We're at an A round stage where our investment is from Hummer Windblad and from Longworth. We'll be doing a B round in the next few months. And contact me if you want to talk to me. Missed it.
All right.
All right.
I kind of like the touch where you said it's eminent. I think you should leave that. That's